we've had 8 graduates so far, I think, from Berlin, and all of them are either working or studying. We've got 2 students who've won a scholarship, where there's only 12 scholarships a year Australian-wide.
Now, if I think about people who I've stayed in touch with or who I get in touch with occasionally, I think they have been able to find things they wanted to do and continue to do them.
We've had people go into music. We've had people go into other TAFE courses.
Or, somebody is a graphic designer, somebody else is in business, somebody is decided that they wanted to go live in the woods and live off the land. Somebody wants to be a farmer and he finds some land and finds a way to farm on the land. Somebody else, I wanted to be a scientist, I'm working as a scientist.
So there's all sorts of different people, but I think they're all pretty happy and pretty satisfied with what they do.
Was it difficult for you to get into college?
No, it wasn't.
I don't think Sudbury students ever had too many problems getting into university or getting into wherever they want to get into, because people just see those students and they see that self-confident people and they know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about.
I currently live in Kiel, where I'm a postdoctoral researcher at the university. I went to a good college, did well, went to a graduate school. I have a PhD in science and geological sciences. Sudbury Valley School offers an official school certificate that basically says that you're equal to people who have graduated some other high school in the state of Massachusetts. And normally when people apply to college, they say, okay, I graduated from high school and here are my grades, and Sudbury Valley sends a letter explaining that there aren't any grades. And, it's a short 1-page summary of why there aren't any grades. I don't actually know exactly what's in the letter, but they say basically, we don't have any grades to send you, here's why. And as a student who's applying to the college, you have to say something. You obviously need to say something about that and address the issue. And frankly, I think it sparks their curiosity, and sparking their curiosity gets them talking to you. And if you get them talking to you, you're pretty likely to get in. Anybody who wants to go to college can go to a college where there are people who can help you be as good as you want at any academic subject. I mean, you can get the large state-sponsored institutions are easy to get into, and at a large state-sponsored institution, a student who's really interested in what they're doing can do very well and can get a lot of attention from the professors once they show that they're interested in doing what they're doing, because a lot of their peers are just killing time. What I did is I wanted to go to a smaller college that's a little bit more selective and took a little bit more work to get into. One reason it was easier is that someone from Sudbury Valley School had been there before and had done well. So that obviously, as the school has grown through the years, there are more people who have already set the trend, and the people in the offices there might have heard of you, at least in the admissions office might have heard of it. You need to carefully apply. There's some tests you have to take to show your abilities. I don't know what happens at the most selective colleges where they have 25 applicants for each position. I don't know what happens there, but at least at the fairly selective colleges, they're pretty receptive to this.
Yeah, I definitely think that my experience at Sudbury Valley and at Greenwood has been a tremendous benefit to me. I'm not planning on going to college, but everyone who wants to go to college from those schools can. I just don't see the point for me.
So, having been at Sudbury Valley School, would you say that it's maybe more difficult to find a job after having been at such a school?
No. The only thing that might make it more difficult is that your standards might be higher as far as what you're willing to do.
Well, they're definitely not disadvantaged.
People talk about having all this freedom and how it's difficult when you go to a job or a university or whatever, someplace where there are rules. But having the freedom to choose whether to be there or not be there makes it possible to live by their rules. You choose to go to a university, you figure out how things work at that university, and you follow the rules and you do what you want. And if the rules go beyond what you're willing to do, you leave. And if you go to a workplace and if what's wanted from you at that workplace seems reasonable to you, you do it. And you follow the rules of that workplace and you make your boss happy and you do everything you can to try to do your work well. And if that work seems unreasonable, you say, all right, well, okay, it's time to do something else and find another place. But I don't think there's anything that's particularly hard